Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. How about we get ready to save you a little money when it comes to energy costs? Window World of Central Iowa special guest Kendall Hepker is joining us here today to give us that type of information. Thanks for making the travel over.
Thanks for having me, Lou.
All right, let's talk about people saving money when it comes to their home energy-wise. A couple of tips you can give them.
A couple of good tips as you roll through that, especially the cold season. One thing that people forget to do is make sure your windows are locked. When your windows are locked and they're secured, you're going to have less airflow coming through that window because it's all locked down.
Okay, I never even thought about making sure. You could close it, but if it's locked,
a lot of people close it, and then we'll get a phone call and they'll tell us their windows are drafty. We'll go in. One of the first things we check to see is if it's shut and if it's locked. A lot of times it'll be open maybe that far from the top because they have the blinds and the curtains blocking that, and they don't realize it's shifted down, so we just shut the window and we lock it.
All right, it's just that simple.
Huge benefit.
Okay, and another really easy tip, and this is something we talked about earlier before we went on camera, if you have people coming over to your house.
Yeah, if you have people coming over to your house for the holidays, just remember the more people you get inside that house, the more air that they're putting into that house, it's going to heat up. If you're cooking a turkey in the oven or a ham or you're making that big feast, you can turn your thermostat down a little bit because what that'll do is it's already generating heat. So you don't need to crank the heat up and save the energy that way.
Now, let's talk about how important windows are and quality windows are. Let's stress that point.
Quality. Usually windows come in a good, better, best. So like with us, we try to shoot for that better or that best. Best is going to get you into that triple pane era. You can get non-Energy Star rated windows, which is still better than what most people have. But that Energy Star, dual pane, low E, argon gas, that's going to be your best bang for the buck. A lot of people don't realize it, but if you're going to take all the windows out of your house and put them onto one wall, they'll fill one whole wall of your home. So roughly your house is about 25% glass.
Never thought about that.
Glass is always the coldest point in the house.
Yeah, we have a bunch of images from some homes that we could take a look at here, and I never did that math, never did the calculations when it comes to that, but if you look at some of these pictures, now think about that, what he just said. Take all the windows and put them on one side of your house. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's going to be one whole wall full of windows in the whole home. So.
Yeah, and these are some very attractive windows, and you can really upgrade about any window unit that's out there now, can't you?
Any window that you have in your home that you want to get replaced, we can put the same thing that's existing. We can change it to a different style. There's all sorts of different architectural designs and color options. But as far as the efficiency goes, I'd say with our product, you know, a dual pane window is your best bet.
Now let's talk about efficiency as if we come back here and show the touch screen here. Energy efficiency when it comes to windows, and there's a real good demonstration here where we can show people about that.
Yeah. So we'll just go to the energy efficiency here. So the first thing that's going to bring up is it's going to talk about the insulated glass. So the insulated glass is usually a dual pane system, a glass on the outside, a glass on the inside, and then there's a spacer system inside there. So a lot of times you can get a traditional steel spacer, which will conduct cold real bad. That's why you get condensation on the windows. We use a warm edge, which is either a stainless steel or an aluminum spacer. One of the other things is the low E glass, which is a tint to the window, which helps reflect the UV light out in the summertime away from the house.
I've never seen this this demonstration before, this graphic before. Explain that.
This is kind of cool. So in the summertime, since the sun's higher in the sky, what happens is the long wave radiation reflects off the ground, it hits the low E on the window, and it reflects it out and away, so you don't get that heat transfer.
Okay.
But in the wintertime, when the sun isn't as high in the sky, and we're at a different tilt with the Earth's axis, it allows for that high wave radiation to come into the home and heat the windows up in the wintertime. So you get a little bit of that warmth from the sun in the wintertime.
All right, cool. And then we have then the argon gas, you mentioned that too.
The argon gas is the insulator. It's like the insulation in a 2x4 wall.
Right.
You want to have something that's clear, but it's got some density to it. This is just the difference between standard clear glass. You can see the heat escaping out of it. And then the actual insulated glass.
Absolutely, those images are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a great image to use as a sales point.
Okay, so let's talk about getting your windows replaced in your place. Can you do this year round, or do you have to wait for it to be nice?
You can do it year round. Some homes, if it's a new construction application where we have to take siding down in order to pull the windows out, we don't mess with that. I'd say 20 degrees and below, you run the risk of damaging the siding.
Okay.
But then we could do older homes built in the early 1900s with wood windows. We do those all year long.
All right, let's talk about Window World Essential Iowa, located right here in Des Moines.
Right here in Des Moines.
Okay. It's on 14th Street, just north of I-80, 5201 Northeast 14th Street. 270-9264 is the phone number to give them a call, which can really make worlds of difference when it comes to saving energy and having a very attractive house, too.
Huge difference.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about, folks. WindowWorldCentralIowa.com. That's where the website is. You want to go back and take a look at all this.
Check it out.
And check that out. Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for the information. We appreciate that, and hopefully save you a little bit of money this time around and down the road.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. You guys have yourself a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for another edition of Iowa Live.